Just the other one. The other.
Now we're ready to go. Members, sorry about that. I was outside for a few minutes. Thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate your taking, for being part of this very significant hearing in my mind. For those of you in the audience, my name is Assemblyman Joe Cotto. I am the chair of the Committee on Governmental Organization, and I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to this very important and very significant hearing. Today, members, we will examine the terms and conditions of the tribal state gaming compacts concluded between the state of California and the Upper Lake Pomo, as well as the Pinoleville Pomo nations. I want all of you to know, as you address us today, that this session is not about. This is not going to be a gotcha session. We're not here, at least as chair, I'm going to try to guide the discussion in this way. Our objective here is to see how we can be most helpful to you. I was particularly very moved when I read the objectives that both of these compacts, that both of these nations are looking at these compacts to help them with, particularly when one hears that in the information that they provided us members, they said that, as many of you may already be aware, some of the biggest problems in the Native American community are alcohol and drug addiction related illnesses. With gaming revenues, this will enable these nations, these tribes, to attack these serious issues. Typically, they pointed out to me, with the need for these services, people have to be referred to the San Francisco Bay Area because those services are not there in the community. They go on to say how important it is for opportunities for education, for being able to support their elderly communities, for maintaining their language and culture, that this is what these compacts provide an opportunity for these two nations that we're going to be hearing today. So we want you, as you come up and address us, look at us with the idea that we're here to help. We're trying to hear from you about any issues that you may be encountering and how we might be able to help you. This is not a gotcha situation. This is where we want to work together to ensure your success. How does that sound? Does that make sense to you? Very good. Members, if any of the members would like to make some brief comments before we get started. No, I'm seeing none on either side. All right. Why don't we begin, members, then? You see our agenda. We're going to hear from the state perspective. Kristen Kolpicki from the Governor's Office of Planning and Research will first address us. After that, members, we will hear from the tribal perspective, then from the local government perspective, then we'll hear from some comments, and then we'll have closing remarks and conclusion. By the way, members, if we could see what you think about this, if we could probably dedicate about an hour to each of these two nations, then we could be finished in about at about 1:15. Does that make sense to all of you? Right? Would you like me to keep pressing it that way so we do it that way? All right. Thank you. Please proceed.
Hi, members. My name is Kristen Kolpicki with the Governor's Office of Planning and Research. I want to thank you for the opportunity to address this committee and answer any questions you might have regarding the new tribal state gaming compact with the Governmental Pomo of Upper Lake. Sorry. The core provisions of the compact are consistent with previous compacts negotiated by the administration. These include enhanced provisions for addressing off-reservation impacts of casino projects, patron and worker protections, and testing of gaming devices. All new construction at the tribe's casino will meet or exceed local building and safety codes. The compact also includes enhanced audit and compact compliance review provisions, plus provisions addressing minimum internal control standards and employment discrimination discrimination claims. The compact authorizes the tribe to establish one casino on an 11.34-acre parcel located in Lake County. The tribe may operate up to 750 slot machines. Under the compact, the state will receive 15% of the net wins generated from the slot machines. The tribe has agreed to make payments to the Revenue Sharing Trust Fund when it operates over 349 slot machines. Every slot machine starting at 350 to 750, the tribe will pay $900 per slot machine. As you know, the RSTF is a fund that provides an annual distribution of $1.1 million to eligible tribes, those tribes operating less than 350 slot machines. The tribe receives exclusivity against Class 3 gaming from non-tribal interests within its core geographic area, a 100-mile radius of the casino. If it loses exclusivity, the tribe may terminate the compact or continue but pay only the actual costs of regulation. The compact requires the tribe to complete the Tribal Environmental Impact Report, TEIR process, like the governor's other compacts. It requires the tribe to negotiate an intergovernmental agreement with the County of Lake to mitigate any off-reservation impacts on the environment, law enforcement, fire protection, medical emergency services, public safety, and gambling addiction. In addition, the compact requires the tribe to enter into a written agreement with Caltrans to mitigate direct and cumulative traffic impacts on the state highway system. The tribe will allow the state to test and inspect its slot machines. The tribe has agreed to resolve gaming disputes with patrons through binding arbitration. Under the compact, California tort law shall govern all claims involving personal injury and property damage of third parties, and the tribe agrees to binding arbitration of all claims. The tribe has agreed to adopt standards that equal or exceed standards in the Fair Labor Standards Act. The compact has the same labor provisions in the 1999 compacts, which requires the tribe to adopt a Tribal Labor Relations Ordinance, or TLRO. The TLRO provisions apply if the tribe employs 250 employees or more at the casino. The TLRO provides bargaining rights to casino workers comparable to those of other workers in California. The election procedures and unfair labor practices under the TLRO parallel those of the National Labor Relations Act. The tribe has agreed to participate in the state's workers' compensation and state unemployment system and to comply with federal and state occupational health and safety standards and consent to the jurisdiction of the state agencies and courts enforcing all of those standards. The tribe has agreed to adopt and comply with standards no less stringent than the federal and state employment discrimination laws. Any discrimination claims may be resolved pursuant to binding arbitration before a retired judge. The tribe has agreed to maintain employment practices insurance of no less than $3 million per occurrence. The compact mix provisions have been developed in response to the Federal Court of Appeals ruling in Colorado Indian Tribe v. National Indian Gaming Commission. As you know, in that case, the court ruled that the National Indian Gaming Commission does not have the authority to enforce the federal mix. The compact provides that the tribe will adopt and implement minimum internal control standards that meet or exceed the controls set out in Appendix A to the compact. Appendix A is based on the federal mix. Under the compact, the state and tribal regulators will meet at least every 3 years to update Appendix A in order to address changes in technology and industry standards and future circumstances. The compact sets out 2 strong layers of regulation for ensuring compliance with the mix. The tribe is responsible for establishing tribal regulations and enforcing compliance with the compacts and the mix. In addition, the State Gambling Control Commission may conduct audits and comprehensive compliance review. The Commission will have access to all records, including financial records maintained by the casino, and will work with tribal regulators to resolve any issues. The compact requires an independent financial audit, provides that the state may conduct its own audit, and provide for an annual comprehensive compact compliance review by the state. In addition, the tribe has agreed to provide the state with copies of audit reports submitted to the National Indian Gaming Commission. The tribe has agreed to implement an extensive problem gambling program. It has also agreed to comply with all earning withholding orders for spousal and child support. In closing, the administration believes this compact is good for the state and good for the tribe. It affords protections to the Californians who will visit and work at the casino and provide for mitigation of impacts of new projects on the surrounding community. It provides for substantial revenues to the state while affording the tribe increased economic opportunities as envisioned by the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act.
Thank you very, very much. You might want to start with, in conclusion, read that a little bit louder. We didn't hear it. I think that's important for all of us to hear again.
In closing, the administration believes this compact is good for the state and good for the tribe. It affords protections to Californians who will visit and work in the casino and provides for mitigation of impacts of new projects on the surrounding community. It provides for substantial revenues to the state while affording the tribe increased economic opportunities as envisioned by the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act.
Thank you very, very much for that very comprehensive review of the compact. As we Assemblymember Chesbro has a question. Mr. Chesbro?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Would you please, when you do have a question, or maybe at this point it might be helpful, Anthony, if each of you just introduce yourself in the area that you represent very quickly.
Okay, well, I'm Assemblyman West Chesbro, and both of these compacts on today's agenda fall within my Assembly District, the 1st Assembly District. My question has to do with the exclusivity clause. We have two compacts. It refers to additional Indian gaming within 100 miles. Well, these two compacts are far closer than 100 miles from each other, and so I'm just curious what the interplay is between the two compacts. If you've in this compact told the tribe there's an exclusive area, and we've got another compact that was signed almost simultaneously by the governor that is what, 40 miles away or 50 miles away, maybe?
It's non-tribal interests.
Non-tribal.
Yes.
Okay, so any of the other tribes continue to be eligible for gaming within that radius?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Would you please introduce yourself, sir?
Assemblymember Portantino, 44th Assembly District, which Pasadena, Northeast LA, and a large part of the San Gabriel Valley.
Assemblymember Manuel Perez, the 8th Assembly District, which is the most southern district in the state of California. We're talking about Morongo, Cabazon, all the way down to the Calexico border. And just a point of fact regarding the compacts, you bring up a good question, Assemblymember Chesbro. But in my area, for example, in the 8th Assembly District, I have Cabazon, I have Agua Caliente, I have Fantasy Springs, or the Cabazon Band of Mission Indians. We have Augustine. We have Torres Martinez. We have the 29 Palms Band of Mission Indians. And these are all within a 20-mile radius, probably 25-mile radius. And these are all compacts.
Thank you. Mr. Mendoza.
My name is Tony Mendoza. I represent southeastern LA County and parts of Orange County, the cities of Whittier, South Whittier, Santa Fe Springs, Norwalk, Artesia, Cerritos, Lakewood, Hawaiian Gardens, and I go into Orange County, Buena Park. I do not have any compacts in my district. I wish I could take both of them away from you, Mr. Chesbro. But you're such a lucky guy to have two on the same day on the same hearing. So, with that, it's a pleasure being here, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. The Vice Chair of the committee, Mr. Anderson, Assemblymember Anderson.
I represent portions of East San Diego County, and we have a lot of compacts in my district, and many of them are well within a 100-mile radius.
Thank you.
I've met some of you. Kevin Jeffries, the 66th Assembly District. I think we have 7 gaming compacts in the district with Paula, Palma, Rincon, Pachanga, San Pascual, La Jolla, some of the non-gaming, Mesa Grande, Los Coyotes. So we have a lot.
Thank you.
This will be a good topic.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Okay, my name is Jim Silva. I represent the 67th District, which is Huntington Beach, Seal Beach. But for the last 30 years, my family has also maintained a residence in Coachella Valley, so I've seen the compacts up close.
Thank you very much.
I am Brian Nestandi, 64th Assembly, representing parts of all within Riverside County, city of Riverside, then over in the Coachella Valley, the area that Assemblyman Perez does not have. A few of the cities we share one of the tribes, Agua Caliente, and a few tribes up in Anzan, Idlewild area. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you again very much. If you could hold on for a second afterwards, not leave, see if any other questions do come up. Could we now invite the representative from the Pomo of Upper Lake, Sherry Trepa, Teresa Meek, Richard Armstrong, and David, and these will be the 3 representatives. Although you know Mr. Quintana is here, he also helps represent them if any questions might come up. Thank you again for being here. We're honored that you're here.
Thank you. We very much appreciate being able to speak on behalf of our tribe and the compact that we've negotiated and concluded with the state. My name is Sherry Trepa. I am the chairperson of Governmental, Pomo of Upper Lake. Teresa Meek is the vice chair, and Rick Armstrong is our counsel.
Thank you.
We are here to answer any questions that you might have in regards to the compact that we've negotiated.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments you'd like to make? I'm just providing an no?
No.
You're here to answer questions. Members, do you have any questions? Assemblymember Chesbro.
Yes, I'm just curious about where the various stages of working with the local community, where you are in terms of MOU, TEIR, agreement from the Board of Supervisors. Can you describe, I know we're going to hear from some local representatives, but just want you to describe what the steps the tribe has taken to bring the non-Indian community along in support of this.
Thank you for giving me that opportunity. Yes, the tribe has a very good working relationship with the county. From within a few weeks of actually acquiring the site, the tribe sat down with the county leaders for discussions about how our proposed casino might impact the county. We negotiated an MOU to mitigate all the impacts of the casino in the community and the county, covering the areas of agritourism, police, fire. We have a separate fire MOU with the local district. We have negotiated a wastewater agreement with special districts. So the tribe sat down and wanted to make sure that the county was well involved with every step of our project. So we concluded that compact, or the MOU, in 2006, several years ago, prior to a lot of the work that we have done since in putting the land in trust.
And has the TEIR been completed, or is that in process?
Yes, as a matter of fact, the tribe, when we went through our environmental assessment, included the TEIR in our efforts early on, and we are concluding some additional requirements, and we expect to finalize that the first week of November.
Okay, thank you. Well, Mr. Chair and members, when we introduced ourselves, I sensed a strong support amongst the committee members for Indian sovereignty and for Indian gaming. Many of us have it in our districts. Some of us don't. Oh, he stepped away, but some of us don't and wish they did. And I have quite a few casinos in my district. But for a representative in the area, the dilemma frequently has to do with, on the one hand, wanting to help tribes fulfill their aspirations. On the other hand, you represent all the people in the community. And so sometimes it can present a challenge. And this particular tribe has gone to great lengths to complete the process of not only gaining the support of the Board of Supervisors, but getting an MOU in place before the compact is before us, which makes it a lot easier for the local representative to say this is something that has been determined to be good for the tribe and good for the community. Issues that, to the extent they do exist, have been worked out or are in the process of being worked out through the TEIR. So I just wanted to note that for that reason, when they approached me and asked me to, although they wanted me to introduce at the end of session in September, I declined to do that, much to their disappointment, but I did agree to author the compact as soon as we could get the process going. And even though I know that that's been frustrating for them because they really want to get going, I think this hearing, the opportunity to air the issues, have it done in a transparent and public way, is actually, in the long run, better and reduces the possibility that opposition might arise just because people think we're trying to sneak it through somehow. So in any case, I'm quite confident. I know this is not the bill hearing, so we're not debating the bill, but I do want to indicate that this tribe has gone to extraordinary steps to resolve all of the issues before they ask the legislature to approve the compact.
Thank you very much.
Assemblyman, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'd like to speak a little bit more in regards to the environmental, the TEIR. The tribe, in its efforts to work with the county, has not only negotiated an MOU with the county and a fire MOU. The county had desires to restore the boundaries of the original lake through the Middle Creek Restoration Project. And in that effort, the tribe originally had intended to put 60 acres into trust. And due to the issues that go along with trying to pull land out of trust for the purposes of, let's say, for this restoration project, the tribe agreed to limit its application to just a little bit over 11 acres in an effort to facilitate the acquiring of that land, the additional land for the restoration project, which is going to assist in preserving the health of the lake and and working with the county. So the tribe has early on made huge efforts to try to work within the county. And I think the showing of support that we have here today will show you as well that the tribe has done every effort to try to conclude an agreement with the county.
Thank you very much. Assemblymember Nastandi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just curious about the timing as to, and I apologize, I haven't had a chance to read much about the history, but how did you come to the point of now having to compact it? Did you have, as you mentioned, any issues with land in the trust, or did you, was there any recognition issues early on, or what's the short history of the tribe?
The tribe's history, we've been federally recognized for some time. We went through the termination process in the 50s. We were restored in the 80s. The tribe concluded the MOU early on in its efforts to move this project ahead. Timing-wise, the state requires land being into trust, so the tribe went through the process of restoring its land through one of the exceptions of IGRA. So in that effort, we finally concluded our acquisition in November of 2008. We went through the federal process as it was contemplated and outlined in IGRA. Upon the conclusion of that acquisition, we immediately went to the state and provided a draft compact. So from that point to right prior to the end of the legislative session, we were negotiating the compact with the state. Unfortunately, the timing wasn't ideal for the tribe. We are at a critical position of needing to move the project ahead, not only for the tribe but for the county. It's unemployment is at 15% in the county, and this would create some much needed jobs, payments to the county in lieu of taxes, $80,000 to the local fire district, wastewater mitigation monies. The county needs this, and so does the tribe. So unfortunately, the timing wasn't the best, but that's why we're here today, is to show how critical this is for the county and the tribe, and to answer any questions that you might have.
Just if I may follow up with one more, thank you. Just curious if you're able to disclose, I mean, was financing an issue, or just, I'm curious about how the economy is out there. Were people able to help financing the operations, or?
The financing comes through our lender. It's a gaming development company out of Novi, Michigan. We've had an ongoing relationship from the beginning with them. They have funded the pre-development to get us to this point, and are going to fund the actual building of the casino.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Any other questions, members? Excellent presentation. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate your being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is the local government perspective. Deborah Summerfield, Mark Dellinger, Melissa Fulton, and Gary Lewis. Would you please step forward? Thank you also for being here. Please identify yourself and proceed.
Good morning, Chairman Cotto and Assembly members. My name is Deborah Summerfield, Deputy Administrative Officer with the County of Lake. I'm here today on behalf of Supervisor Denise Rushing, Chair of the Lake County Board of Supervisors, and Kelly Cox, Lake County Administrative Officer, to express their support for the tribal compact with the Governmental Pomo of Upper Lake. Although Supervisor Rushing and Mr. Cox are unable to be here today, they have asked that I read into the committee record their letter of support dated October 19th. Dear Chairman Cotto and members of the Committee on Governmental Organization, we are writing to express our strong support of the efforts of the Governmental Pomo of Upper Lake to conclude a fair and equitable tribal state gaming compact between the tribe and the state of California. The County of Lake has established an exemplary government-to-government relationship with the tribe as a result of the Upper Lake Area Gaming Project. The cooperative working relationship we have enjoyed with this tribe from day one has set a new standard in Lake County and is truly a model for others to emulate. The tribe has gone well beyond the county's expectations in its extraordinary efforts to include county officials and the community at large in the preparation and planning of its gaming project over a period of several years. The county, through its agencies and officers, continues to meet regularly with the tribe to ensure the local community interests are adequately accounted for within the project. Foremost in these planning efforts is the existing Memorandum of Understanding between the county and the tribe that ensures the county's interests are taken into consideration throughout the tribe's project. The MOU sufficiently provides for many mitigation measures, including payment by the tribe to the county of a payment in lieu of property tax, wastewater mitigation measures, water mitigation measures, health and safety mitigation measures, fire and safety mitigation measures, security and law enforcement mitigation measures, traffic mitigation measures, county tourism marketing, and the Middle Creek Restoration Project consideration. To date, the tribe continues to comply with the MOU by taking action to preserve over 44 acres for consideration of the Middle Creek Restoration Project, providing over $378,000 to the county for improvements to the Lake County Sanitation District's wastewater system, and establishing an agreement with the North Shore Fire Protection District to provide $80,000 annually for fire and safety mitigation. The county supports the tribe in its effort to conclude a fair compact with the state of California in order to see the tribe's project to fruition. In addition to the funding the tribe will provide to local agencies pursuant to the MOU, completion of the tribe's project will result in much-needed new jobs, important Highway 20 safety corridor improvements, and a general overall stimulus to the county's struggling economy. On the other hand, if the tribe is unable to proceed with its project, many of the efforts by the tribe and county will be lost, and the local community will suffer the consequences. This tribe has done everything possible to ensure that its gaming project will benefit our community and that there will be a long-standing, positive working relationship between the tribe and the County of Lake. If the project cannot move forward because of unreasonable delay in the ratification process, it would benefit no one, as this economic development opportunity could be lost to the tribe, to our county, to the community, and to the state of California. Swift ratification by the state legislature of the tribe's compact is critically important. Your support of the Governmental tribe's efforts to bring this matter to a positive outcome without further delay would be very sincerely appreciated by everyone involved. Many urgently needed new jobs in Lake County are dependent upon this, and we are very hopeful that the tribe will be able to move forward at the earliest possible date. Thank you very much for any assistance and consideration you can provide to this exemplary tribe, the Governmental Pomo of Upper Lake. Sincerely, Denise Rushing, County Supervisor, District 3 and Board Chair, and Kelly Cox, County Administrator.
Thank you very much for reading that into the record. That I think expresses a very positive approach, and we thank you very much for that. Know that we're going to try to move this as quickly as we can. Please.
Thank you, Chairman and committee members. My name is Mark Dellinger. I am the Special Districts Administrator for the Lake County Sanitation District. Our agency manages the wastewater system to which the Governmental Casino would be connected. From the inception of our involvement with this tribe, they have been exceptionally cooperative and proactive. Through the entire process, they negotiated in good faith. Their performance has been exemplary. They paid the cost of performing a hydraulic capacity analysis of $20,000 of the collection system by our district's engineer. This analysis identified hydraulic impacts from their proposed casino and recommended mitigation measures. The tribe paid for these mitigation measures in the amount of $378,100. Most of these measures have already been implemented. They have committed to pay system capacity fees upon their connection to this wastewater system. They have been an absolute pleasure for us to work with as an applicant for wastewater service. Thank you very much.
Please proceed.
Thank you. Melissa Fulton, CEO of the Lake County Chamber of Commerce. I'm here representing over 500 businesses throughout the County of Lake. Dear Chairman Cotto and members of the committee, The Habomatol Pomo tribe of Upper Lake joined the Lake County Chamber of Commerce in March 2006. From the initial presentation to members of the Chamber at that time until present, their outreach has been ongoing. In September 2009, at a Chamber mixer, information was shared on the status of the project and when they might begin construction. Through these past several years, there have been many presentations to a variety of organizations to assure that the residents of the County of Lake knew of their plans. An MOU with the County of Lake is further evidence of their community support as they move forward. Preservation of 44 acres for the Middle Creek Restoration Project, $378,000 for improvements to the Lake County Sanitation District's wastewater system, $80,000 annual payments to the North Shore Fire Protection District for fire and safety mitigation. We wish to express our support for the efforts of the Habomatol Pomo of Upper Lake to bring their project to fruition by the successful conclusion of a fair compact with the state of California. Timely ratification of this contract will allow the tribe to meet their construction schedule, which will result in economic benefits to the residents of Lake County in providing much-needed employment. Benefits of the ratification of this compact extend far beyond the benefits to the Habomatol and into our communities. It is our hope that actions will be taken to expedite this ratification. The tribe's efforts over these past several years with ratification by the Legislature of California will bring employment at a very critical time for our county. Thank you for your consideration in this very important matter for the Habomatol Pomo of Upper Lake and our communities. Sincerely, Melissa Fulton, CEO.
Melissa, thank you very much. Please.
Yes, my name is Gary Lewis. I want to thank the Honorable Assembly members for allowing us to speak today, and also the Habomatol tribe for asking me to speak on their behalf. I found out I'm president-elect of the North Shore Business Association by looking at the agenda, and I must have missed that meeting last week. Our North Shore Business Association is comprised of about 80 members of businesses active on the North Shore, of which the Habomatol has been active for a number of years. And I was also on the Board of Supervisors for 8 years during the negotiations on this MOU. And I want to tell you briefly that it went well. The tribe came to the board. The negotiations was an absolute pleasure to deal with. It's the first time we've dealt with a tribe in the county that came to us and was so forthright and wanted to help in all perspectives of how this would take place in the county. I live in Upper Lake. I've known several of these members of this group. They went to Upper Lake High School, and I remember some of them when I was even on the Board of Trustees at the high school. And then they went off to college, and now they've put this together for the benefit of their tribe. And I think we are appreciative as they are. And what I have here is a copy of their history and what their future holds for them. And I'd like to leave those for you.
Thank you.
They're fascinating to look at. Thank you for letting us speak.
Well, thank you very, very much for all of your comments were just superb. And it just shows the positive way that you're working together to make this a win-win for everyone, right? I mean, the way you've expressed the need for the jobs, the stimulus, the infrastructure, and the other areas is so critical, and thank you very, very much. Members, any questions of the local representatives?
Well, Mr. Chair, I think the comments speak for themselves very well. There is apparent, if not absolute unanimity, at least great unity, perhaps unanimity. I haven't heard anybody from Lake County express any concerns about this. And as a result of having to tell the tribe no in the last week of session, we did amend a bill in the Senate, so it's far along in the process. And I'm hopeful we'll be able to move it very quickly in January. And I know from the, I shouldn't say I know because we'll have to hold the hearing, but I assume from the positive comments opening the session that this committee is very likely to be very supportive, and I know the chair will be as well. So hopefully we can get this thing going and right after the first of the year.
Thank you very much, Assemblymember Chesbro, for those very positive comments. Note that the chairman of the Appropriations Committee has joined us, the Honorable Kevin De Leon. Mr. De Leon, thank you for joining us, sir. Thank you. Any questions, any public comment? This is the time for public comment. Is there anyone who would like to address this committee on the on this compact? Please come forward. Very good.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members. My name is Jack Ribbon. I'm the California Political Director for Unite Here, the Hotel and Casino Workers Union. We're extremely supportive of this project and this tribe. This tribe has really gone the distance with the larger community and up to and including an assurance that the jobs that will be created by this project will be good jobs and jobs that are well needed in that county. So we're very proud to be supportive, and we hope you'll move it along as quickly as you can.
Thank you. Please.
Mr. Chair and members, Caitlin Vega for the California Labor Federation, also here to express our strong support. We think that in this economic climate, we desperately need good jobs that allow workers to support their families, and that's what this would provide. So we urge you to introduce the bill and pass it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other comments? Any other public comment? If not, members, that concludes part one of the first compact. Again, thank you very much for your excellent presentations. We've also been joined now by the chair of the Budget Committee, Noreen Evans. Thank you, Assemblymember Noreen Evans, for being here. Members, let's move on to the second compact, if we can. We're going to ask Kirsten, say that again? Kolpitke, right? Kolpitke. Governor's Office of Planning and Research. Members, this is the one about the Pinoleville Pomo Nation Compact. Please proceed.
The two compacts that you guys are discussing before you today. Sorry. The two compacts that are before you today are consistent with each other and consistent with the previous compacts negotiated by this governor and this administration. However, the differences, which I'll just point out rather than reading the entire statement again, is that this compact authorizes the tribe to establish one casino on eligible Indian lands located within the boundaries of the tribe's rancheria, as those boundaries exist as of March 10, 2009, the execution date of the compact. The rancheria is located in the county of Mendocino off Highway 101, about 1 mile north of the city of Ukiah. The tribe may operate up to 900 slot machines. The tribe has also agreed to make payments to the Revenue Sharing Trust Fund when it operates over 700 slot machines. For every slot machine starting at 701 to 900, the tribe will pay $900 per slot machine. And I can read the closing one more time if you want, but...
Please read it one more time. I'm sure they would like to hear it.
With feeling, in closing, the administration believes this compact is good for the state and good for the tribe. It affords protections to the Californians who will visit and work in the casino and provides for mitigation of impacts of new projects on the surrounding community. It provides for substantial revenues to the state while affording the tribe increased economic opportunities as envisioned by the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirsten, very much. Members, any questions? Thank you very much again, Kirsten, for your comments. The tribal perspective now, please. Leona Williams, who is the chair of the Pinoleville Pomo Nation, Angela James, vice chair John Meyer, attorney for the Pomo Nation, and Manny Aguilar, who is the public relations. Please come forward. It's a pleasure to have you here. Also joined by Manny Diaz, who is their spokesman, former Assembly member Manny Diaz. Please proceed, Leona.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Honorable Chairman Cotto and members. Thank you for being here today. I'd like to take a few minutes to tell you about Pinoleville Pomo Nation. My name is Leona Williams. I've been the tribal chairperson for approximately 16 years. I'm also an elder, grandmother, and great-grandmother. I've been the chairperson for 16 years, like I've said. My ancestors, the Pinoleville Pomo people, have lived in the region for over thousands of years. Our relationship with the United States government officially began in the year in the 1900s when the U.S. government purchased land for the Panolaville tribe and officially recognized Panolaville-Pomo Nation as a sovereign Indian nation. That original land purchase was the Panolaville Rancheria, and today the same boundaries exist as our nation's reservation. Panolaville-Pomo Nation was terminated in 1966, and our rancheria parceled out to individuals then living on the land. Hardships caused many of these landowners to sell their land to non-Panolaville citizens. In 1983, Panolaville fought back to reclaim their federal recognition in a class action lawsuit. We, along with 16 other tribes, had our recognition restored and the original boundaries of our reservation restored. Today, the Panolaville-Pomo Nation is governed by a tribal council of 7 elected officials. Our government is strong and stable. When I became the chairperson 16 years ago, Panolaville was in a serious deficit with no programs. The tribal council worked very hard and put in long hours to build the solid foundation we have today. 16 years of dedicated leadership has resulted in the stable, successful, and financially sound government. After several years of planning for a casino, I am here today to ask you to support our compact for gaming. We have approximately 250 citizens in our nation, and our government now runs around 8 programs. Many of our directors are here today. I would like to introduce them. Would you please stand up?
Thank you.
We have our vocational rehabilitation program, which is run by the director, Vaughn Pena. We have Dr. Edmonds. He runs our EPA program. George Provencher, he runs our Head Start, which we are very proud of, our Head Start, and also he's the administrative director. We have Linda Knoll, which is our social service director, and she runs child care and the other social service programs. And we also have Dave Ponton, which is our housing director, and Alice Moore, which is our TANF and our 102-477 director, which I might mention, Panolaville is the first tribe to have a 477 program in California. We also have Lenora Steele, which is our self-governance coordinator, and I'm very proud of our staff. They've helped us so much. Thank you. Our programs are vital to our people and our success. We are proud of our Head Start. I might mention Head Start because that's my program that I am so proud of, because I am a product of assimilation and termination, and I lost my language, my culture. I didn't know it until I had to discover it, study it, and I don't want that to happen to our children. So this Head Start program, we have the language, we have the culture, and I learn along with the children. And so all of the 9 tribal governments in Mendocino County are welcome to attend our Head Start program, which they do. And also our vocational rehabilitation program is open to the 9 tribes in our area also, and in Lake County. We've expanded to Lake County. We are passionate about supporting our youth in education, having a learning center to help them achieve all their goals, learning about their culture again. We also have a vocational rehabilitation program that serves the members of federally recognized tribes in Mendocino and Lake County. It also serves the non-federally recognized tribe of Yoquail, who are currently seeking federal recognition. We also provide office space for the Yoquail tribe free of charge, because we know they have limited funding and they have a long history of living in the region. We are proud of our many accomplishments and programs. Our nation needs further economic sources. Our tribal unemployment rate is high, much higher than the county average and state average. Our people need jobs. They need housing. We are ready and willing to do whatever we must to support our citizens. Our children need scholarships, and our elders need housing and support. We already collaborate with our local social service agencies. Panolaville has many goals to build up our community, not just Panolaville community, but our Mendocino County home and community. We are not developers and do not have that expertise. We have entered into a development contract with the Canales Group, LLC, to help us develop this casino. The Canales Group has been working with the tribe for over 9 years. We need their expertise to make this happen. Our development contract will be reviewed and certified by the National Indian Gaming Commission. Every gaming tribe has gone through this process. I, on behalf of the Panolaville Pomo Nation, invite all of you to come to our reservation. Come and see that our people need housing, medical programs, elder care, drug and alcohol facilities, which we're working on that also. Our administrative offices and Head Start buildings are modular offices, must be replaced with permanent structures. Our kids need money for scholarship. As a tribe and nation, we want to provide these services to our people. That is why I'm here today. I'm here to ask you to support our compact. With this compact, we believe that our current programs will improve and be around for future generations. We will be able to create even more programs for our people and community. Thank you very much for your time. I also want to thank you, Chairman Cotto, for authoring this very important state legislation. This is our stimulus package, providing jobs for our citizens and local community. And again, thank you, and thank the Creator for watching over us.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for those very moving comments. Thank you so much. Questions before we go to the Vice Chair? Vice Chair? Vice Chair Angela James.
I just wanted to start today by giving a little light on a time frame that we've been working on this. The tribal government, we started this process before the two children in the front row were even thought of. Those are my two children, and they're Head Start graduates and a Head Start student. Today I've prepared a statement for you. Good afternoon, Honorable Chairman Cotto and members. Thank you for being here today. My name is Angela James, and I am the Vice Chairperson for the Panolaville Pomo Nation. You just heard a little bit about my people, and I'd like to take the opportunity to tell you a little bit more. We have a mission statement and a vision I'd like to share with you. We see our community being healthy spiritually, physically, emotionally, and mentally. We will become independent and self-sufficient through economic development. Self-governance will be carried out through leadership focused on cultural and traditional values, taking actions needed to bring our people into balance. We see ourselves passing on the knowledge and wisdom of our ancestors for future generations and encouraging understanding with communities outside of our own. Our mission statement, the Panolaville Pomo Nation secures tribal government, affirms and protects tribal sovereignty, and maintains government-to-government relationships. The nation is dedicated to developing and maintaining cooperative alliances that benefit the nation and local communities. The nation is committed to the preservation of its history, culture, and traditions. The nation provides for the health, safety, and general welfare of its citizens while promoting economic self-sufficiency and personal independence. I have served on the Tribal Council for Panolaville since 1994, when I was the youngest person to serve on that council. Throughout the years, I have served in many different capacities for the nation, but today I serve the nation as Vice Chair and Tribal Historic Preservation Officer. I am an active member of the Economic Development Commission, too. As the Tribe Historic Preservation Officer, it is my job to preserve the Panolaville history. Though some of our culture is lost to time, we are dedicated to keeping our culture alive. We have recently revived an old cultural ceremony that involves traditional dancing and singing. It is important for us to instill the traditional culture in our future generations. Our reservation is approximately 99 acres. It is the same 99 acres originally purchased in 1911 by the United States government for the purpose of supporting the Panolaville people. In the 1950s, the U.S. government adopted a policy of termination. Politics and attitudes towards Indian nations shifted towards assimilation. rather than supporting tribal sovereignty. The policy was to dismantle Indian tribes and assimilate them into society. Through this process, the government parceled out the reservation into individuals who lived on that land. During the termination period, over 50% of the parcels were sold or lost because of financial difficulties. When Penolaville was finally re-recognized in the 80s, the damage resulting from termination policy was obvious. We have been fighting to keep our land. Over the next several years, we will be able to slowly start getting our land back. But we have a long way to go. Revenue from this casino will help us achieve our vision and goals. The land we are planning to develop the casino on within our reservation boundaries is eligible for gaming. It is already zoned for commercial uses and has been used for commercial uses in the past. Actually, it's a car dealership, old car dealership, and is already paved. The surrounding area is blight. The casino project will revitalize the area. We are excited and proud to contribute to the beautification of the Ukiah Valley. Thank you again. Thank you, Chairman, for hearing us. And I'd like to introduce you, our staff attorney, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Meyer, please.
Okay. Good morning, Chairman Cotto, members of the committee. My name is John Mayer, and I'm with the law firm of Mayer, Pfeffer, Kim, and Geary, and I'm here to speak on behalf of the Penolaville Pomo Nation. I'd like to clarify where the gaming will take place, because there have been some questions about that. As Kristen mentioned, Section 4.2 of the Compact authorizes Class 3 gaming only on eligible Indian lands at a single gaming facility located within the boundaries of the Penolaville Rancheria as they exist today. The definition of Indian lands under federal law includes any lands within an Indian reservation, period. A rancheria restored by judicial action, as the Penolaville Rancheria was, is considered a reservation under federal law. Thus, any lands within the Penolaville Rancheria are Indian lands, regardless of whether they are held in fee status or trust status. An earlier NIGC lands opinion issued to that effect concerning the Pecune Rancheria back in 2001 and 2002 is included in the committee packet. As has been mentioned, the Penolaville Rancheria includes 99.53 acres of land. The rancheria was established nearly a century ago in 1911, and as mentioned in the early 1960s, the Penolaville Rancheria, along with some 40 other reservation areas in California, lost its Indian land status as part of the federal government's policy to assimilate Indians and terminate the tribe's status in California and elsewhere. The Penolaville Rancheria was removed from trust status, divided into 19 different fee parcels, and distributed to individual members. Some Indian members later sold or otherwise lost all or portions of their parcels to non-members, creating a checkerboard of Indian and non-Indian land ownership within the rancheria boundaries. 2 decades later, in 1985, the rancheria boundaries were restored under a stipulated judgment with the United States and Mendocino County. In the stipulated judgment, the parties agreed to treat the rancheria like any other federally recognized Indian reservation. This history highlights the fact that for the better part of a century, local government and nearby landowners have been on notice that the Penolaville Rancheria exists. Like dozens of other compacts in California, this compact simply authorizes the nation to engage in Class 3 gaming on its reservation. Respect for the nation's sovereignty and federal law demands nothing less. The nation has proposed building the gaming facility at 2150 North State Street, which is a 9-acre parcel located within the rancheria boundaries immediately east of Highway 101, which divides the rancheria in two. Because of the history of termination and the resulting checkerboard pattern of ownership, the nation does not currently own the parcel outright. However, the nation acquired rights to the property in 2007 under a lease and option purchase agreement with a entity called Candy LLC. Candy LLC owner or its owners do not have any relationship or agreement with the nation other than this land purchase agreement. The nation intends to exercise the purchase option and own the land outright before issuing a facility gaming license. And in a letter to the NIGC, the National Indian Gaming Commission, on July 29, 2009, I represented that to the chairman of the NIGC. The nation considers the parcel to be an appropriate site for a gaming facility for many of the same reasons that Angela pointed out. Again, it is zoned commercial. It's already developed as the site of an old car dealership. The surrounding area is blighted, and its redevelopment by the nation would occur without taxpayer dollars. The nation has been moving ahead with option payments and has commissioned a tribal environmental impact report as required under the compact. However, the nation recently learned that the county has concerns with the location because of anticipated project impacts on traffic and water. The nation understands that the traffic concerns are related to the likely approval by the county of a gravel mining operation east of the site and of the possibility of a voter approval of an upcoming November 3rd ballot measure to approve a Costco along North State Street north of the proposed site. When the tribe purchased the option, the tribe was unaware of these issues. However, the tribe is fully committing to analyzing the potential impacts of traffic and water from the gaming facility, and to fully mitigate these impacts is provided for under the environmental mitigation process of Section 11 of the compact. Mendocino County has formed an ad hoc committee for this purpose. I recently confirmed with County Council the understanding that the ad hoc committee and the nation will meet once the TEIR has been completed and the impacts identified. Of course, if the compacts cannot agree, if the parties cannot agree on each and every mitigation measure, the compact includes an arbitration provision for the resolution of any such disputes. Thank you. I'll be happy to answer any questions the chairman or other committee members may have.
Thank you very much. Mr. Aguilar, please.
Hello. Hello, Honorable Chairman Cotto and members of the Assembly Government Organization Committee. Thank you for agreeing to hear us today. My name is Manny Aguilar. I am the Director of Public Relations for the Pinoleville Pomo Nation. Chairperson Leona Williams asked me to briefly highlight the work we've been doing with the local business community, the support received, our work with the County of Mendocino, the economic impact of building a gaming facility and resort in Mendocino County, along with the positive impact of jobs and the business development on behalf of the Pinoleville Pomo Nation. Members, I believe you have letters of support in your package. I want to thank all of the local businesses that have submitted these letters of support. These businesses are located from Hopland to the Redwood Valley, and they're from many of the major wineries, breweries, construction companies, and other small businesses along the 101 corridor between Hopland and the Redwood Valley, and they support our proposed gaming facility and resort. It is my understanding that the County of Mendocino has been aware of our proposed gaming facility since at least 2007, and I'm not aware of any opposition to our proposed project. We are committed to trying to work with the County of Mendocino to move our project forward. During the construction phase, we anticipate hiring up to 175 construction positions to build our gaming facility and resort. And once we're fully operational, we expect to provide up to 250 permanent, good-paying jobs. Our gaming facility and resort will be a major economic stimulus to the local community of Mendocino County. As you know, during these difficult economic times and budget deficits, PPN, the Pinoleville Pomo Nation, is ready and willing to do its part to tackle this challenging matter. PPN wants to be part of stimulating the local economy. This development is part of a solution to revitalizing the Ukiah Valley and Mendocino County as a whole. I'd like to briefly touch upon several issues which we will be mitigating per the compact and the intergovernmental agreement that Mr. Mayor spoke to. The County of Mendocino Board of Supervisors has already authorized the formation of an ad hoc committee to develop an intergovernmental agreement with the Pinellaville-Pomo Nation. We will work with the County of Mendocino to develop an intergovernmental agreement to address issues that may need to be mitigated based on the TEIR. These areas will likely include water, wastewater, and traffic. We all also understand that water is always a hot topic with all local communities. PPN is prepared, should circumstances arise or require, to help the county and the water district to address potential issues identified in the TEIR. We have water on our land. Pinellaville-Pomo Nation can access at least 35 to 40 gallons per minute with existing wells on the reservation, which would suffice the tribe's need for this project. Also, PPN has been aware for years of the possibility that they may need to build a wastewater treatment plant for any future housing or economic development projects. As with water, Pinellaville-Pomo Nation is prepared, if the circumstances arise, to look at building our own wastewater facility. Traffic issues, along with other issues, will be addressed and mitigated by the TEIR process. And it is my understanding that in the next panel discussion that you will hear directly from the County of Mendocino. Our goal is to be a major participant in improving the quality of life for the people of Mendocino County. Mendocino County is a good place to live and to work. However, like many other counties, we're facing tough economic times. The Pinellaville-Pomo Nation wants to help improve the quality of life for the people of Mendocino County. On behalf of the Pinellaville-Pomo Nation, I would like to thank Chairman Cotto and all of your members for the opportunity to address your committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aguilar. Members, any questions, or we'll call on the...
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chesbro, please.
Your comments, Mr. Vice Chair, and the letters that we've received in support refer to the resort and the restaurant. Is the TEIR addressing the full scope of the development, or is it focused just on the casino portion of the development?
It will address all aspects of the project.
Okay. Along the way, and this is aimed, I don't know who to ask this question of, so feel free, any one of you, to answer it. Along the pathway towards conceiving this, did you ever consider a strategy which would have brought the local government in prior to the legislature being asked to ratify it? In other words, trying to arrive at an MOU and begin the TEIR process and engage them in that process prior to the legislature having a compact before it?
I'll try to answer that. That's a good question, Assemblyman Chesbro. It's a little bit, as I represent also tribes that are seeking to restore lands, as the Upper Lake Tribe has done, and they've done so with excellent relationships with the county, and I think that's really required when you're reestablishing a reservation. This is I just want to point out, this is a very different situation where you have an existing reservation that's been around for 100 years, and the tribe is gaming on those existing lands. So the county, the property owners around have all been on notice that this is a possibility. Now, having said, and then in addition, the compact provides for a process in which to develop an intergovernmental agreement. And it's our understanding that the county's position was they did, and this is common with other counties I've dealt with as well, is that they don't like to negotiate an agreement until the environmental review process has been completed, because then they can see what the mitigation that's recommended, they can see what the impacts are. So it's a little bit different process. I think the Upper Lake Tribe did exactly the right thing, because they had to go through the feed of trust process. They had to get approvals at the federal level for that land. This is a little bit different situation. So the sequencing of the MOU process and things like that is often quite different in these situations.
However, the position you're putting me in particular in, but also the members of the legislature, is to ratify with a lot of unanswered questions about the how the potential impacts are going to be mitigated. I'm told, I don't have firsthand knowledge, and I'll allow the county representative to speak for the county. I'm not speaking for the county, but I'm told, for example, that the water district has a moratorium on hookups. Now, maybe there is sufficient water on site, but that's the first that I've heard that. I've previously been told that there was not available additional water from the water district because of supply, simply not having the supply. Traffic questions are up in the air, and so it's more or less that all the cards are not on the table, and I guess a good gaming reference here. And so that's, I guess, the dilemma that not. I realize there's all kinds of metaphors that come to mind: chicken and horse, cart and horse, or chicken and egg, cart and horse. I'm mixing my metaphors now, but nonetheless, as somebody whose district probably has more casinos than any other assembly district, I was sitting here counting. I think I've got 12 or 13 in my assembly district. And tribes have benefited all over my district, and for the most part, communities around those tribes have benefited. So, I'm certainly not unsympathetic to the aspirations of each and every individual tribe, but at the same time, there's a necessity as an elected representative to consider the impact of the other people you represent, not simply the tribe. And it's certainly helpful if I'm asked to get on board or sign up to know that the local governments who represent the surrounding communities, in this case the city of Ukiah and the county of Mendocino, have been consulted and hopefully come to some agreement, because that makes the prospect for moving forward unquestionably the right thing to do. So I just want to put that on the table, and then I'll certainly look forward to hearing what the county representative has to say. I should say, and I know this wasn't intentional, but in both cases there would have been county supervisors here, but because today is Tuesday and county boards meet, both Lake County was represented by the staff, and also I believe today the county of Mendocino is represented by their chief attorney, their county counsel.
County counsel is here. We're going to hear from her in just a second. Assemblymember Nastandi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You mentioned you have a financial partner, and I'm just curious about, if I remember correctly, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, there's the federal government has a time limit that the private finance can recoup their investment, a period of years, and a capped amount. What is that? Do you know offhand?
Yes, it's a contract, a management contract at least, right, can extend for 5 years, and under extraordinary financial conditions, which often happens in these projects, 7 years.
So I'm just wondering, is that sufficient to attract capital? Do you know, and maybe the other tribes have a response, well, is that sufficient, or does that need to be more lenient these days, or what's your thought?
Yes, I mean, the agreement, sometimes the capital is different. It's coming from a bank. The developer may assist the tribe, would assist the tribe in helping secure the loan. But sometimes the loan itself might run 5, 10, 15, or it might be 10 and it might be renewed. So there's different. It's a little bit different question from the developer itself. The developer doesn't always provide the financing directly.
So, but is in the laws that exist today, as far as recouping your investment, do you think it's sufficient to attract capital, or does it need to be changed, do you think?
I believe it's sufficient at this point, but that's more a question of opening up the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act, which Congress has tried to do in a few instances unsuccessfully. So it's a complex question.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
But it's a good one. Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Mr. Nastandi, and thank you very much for that superb presentation. Let us now hear from the representative from Mendocino County, Janine Nadell. Please step forward. Well done. Well done.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. My name is Janine Nadell, and I'm the County Counsel for Mendocino County, and I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to speak. I'm appearing on behalf of the Mendocino County Board of Supervisors to answer questions regarding the concerns that the county currently has about the proposed location of the casino. I want to make it very clear that the county is not opposed in any way to Indian gaming. We currently have a number of casinos in operation in Mendocino County, and in fact, we do have one MOU with the Coyote Valley tribe for their casino. Our request is simple. We're requesting that prior to ratification of a compact, that the parties be given time to negotiate an MOU regarding the concerns and the issues and the mitigation, much like what's happened in Lake County. We do have concerns with the current ownership of the property, and has already been discussed by council. We also have concerns about the proposed location of the facility. The proposed location is in an area on North State Street that's directly across the street from a proposed surface mining project that may be going into effect. In addition, we do have the Measure A ballot box initiative that's on our ballot for next Tuesday, which is a major development of a shopping area that could go into place also across the street from the proposed location. There are concerns regarding water availability, the ability to hook up to a larger facility larger than the car dealership that was in existence some time ago. And we have also concerns about the lack of communication between the county and the tribe. There have been a lot of mixed messages coming from a variety of folks, which I won't go into here, but we'd like an opportunity to spend time with the tribe to remedy the communication gap that has occurred, so that we can work together to enter into an MOU at some point that will address all the needs of the community the local community, and the county of Mendocino and the tribe. There are other locations in the particular rancheria that a casino could be located, in our opinion, and we have not had the opportunity to discuss that with the tribe. I have not seen the TEIR yet. I know that it's I was advised by council that it might be back under review because of the latest issues relating to traffic and the traffic concerns that I've discussed with council. And so there are a variety of issues. So in our opinion, the ratification of this particular compact may be premature, and we'd certainly like the opportunity to spend the time with the tribe to work together to come to a solution. Because, again, like I said earlier, we're not opposed to any gaming operation, particularly by this tribe, at all, but we just want to make sure it's in the best location for all concerned. And I'm happy to answer any other questions that anybody may have.
Thank you very much for your comments. Members, any questions? I heard the issue of location, water availability, communications issues, and traffic were the fourth that I heard. Yes, Mr. Vice Chair, please.
You know, this might be too late to ask, but I noticed that the compact was almost 9 months before ratification, and I wondered if any of that time was used to try to mitigate this with the county.
I can explain that. We first heard of the compact through a gentleman who claimed to be representing the tribe. His name was Mr. Andy Martone. He approached the CEO and myself and introduced himself and stated that there was a compact that was in place. And given our experience with the Coyote Valley tribe, I said fine, and we formed a Board of Supervisors ad hoc committee to deal with the issues. And then Mr. Martone disappeared. So we received no communication from the tribe. We then met with Michelle Canales, who came by the office and introduced herself, and she basically brought information relating to the tribe itself. and that was fine. We had an initial discussion, and again, folks disappeared. So we have yet to see what the project looks like. We've yet to see, anything other than a handwritten drawing on a piece of paper in terms of the concept of the project, and we've had no meet and confer or discussions with any members of the tribe and the ad hoc committee. And so the only communications that have really just begun are between myself and Mr. Mayor, counsel for the tribe, in which I have expressed to him my concerns and the county's concerns with, regarding all of the issues relating to location, what the proposed facility is like, and also the water availability issues. And I must say, our Measure A initiative, the ballot box initiative, is a hot one for our county, and if it does pass and a development goes in across the street, the traffic impacts in that particular area are going to be severe to the communities.
Okay. Other questions, members? Thank you for bringing these. Yeah. Pardon me. Thank you for bringing these, these issues to our attention, and I know that the chair and the vice chair and the members of the council are here, so I'm sure that they will want to get together with you and look at these issues and see what steps can be taken. At least they've indicated that to me when I met with them. So thank you again for calling that to our attention. Members, any other questions of the local representative? If not, can we hear some? Would you mind waiting for?
Sure.
Any last item or the next item is public comments on the Pinoleville compact, please. Please step forward.
Mr. Chair and members, Jack Ribbon again with Unite Here, the Hotel and Casino Workers Union. We are very supportive of the Pinoleville Pomo Nations Compact. It would help, in our view, ensure that there are good jobs in an area of the state that needs good jobs. And so we're very supportive, and we hope to be helpful in getting their compact ratified.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gribben. Yes.
Mr. Chair and members, Caitlin Vega for the California Labor Federation, also here in strong support. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Any other public comment?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, please.
Mr. Meyer, the attorney for the tribe, in answering my question with regards to whether or not an MOU should be pursued prior to our consideration of a compact, indicated that there was a difference between the status of the tribes and how they came to be where they are, and that explained or justified the approach that was taken in Upper Lake. I want to point out that things are not completely settled in terms of eligible gaming land in this case, because the property is not currently in the tribe's ownership. They have an option to purchase, but nonetheless, it would have to be approved, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it would have to be approved by BIA, or by the federal government, just like the reestablishment of the Upper Lake tribe had to be approved for this purpose. So I do think that there is an argument and justification for considering it. Not necessarily, I'm no lawyer, and I didn't bring it up as a legal argument. I brought it up from the standpoint of trying to have a unified community behind what could and hopefully will be a very good project. That's the reason I brought it up. So my encouragement to the tribe and to the county, and I hope that my fellow committee members will watch this with interest between now and the time the bill comes up, is to sit down and have a more formalized process, not just some sort of hit and miss contacts, because that appears to me to be what has happened so far, but a more formalized process, a series of steps of trying to come to agreement, ideally an MOU in place from my standpoint, because that would give the community the assurance they need, and I believe, like Lake County, you'd have the support of the Board of Supervisors. I can't speak for them, but I think there's a good chance of that. Certainly if they've agreed to an MOU and they support Indian gaming, it would be logical that they would support the compact. So my best advice to you to eliminate the controversy around this is to sit down and hammer out some solutions with the county, and I think that would certainly secure my support for this compact and lessen the difficulty I think this committee and the legislature would have in trying to decide between the community's concerns and the tribe's need to proceed with a with the compact and
Sure, please.
the casino.
Come on, Mr. Meyer. Yeah, Mr. Nastandi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I can ask, is it have other compacts been approved that did not have the location settled at that point?
That's a good question.
Good question.
I think they
Do
have.
we know? They have?
My understanding is.
There were about 60 compacts approved in '99 that were, if you had Indian lands, if you had a reservation, you could game on those Indian lands.
Right, without a specific location.
Exactly. I just need to clarify one thing. I appreciate.
Let's get that for the members of the committee. Let's get that in writing. It's an excellent question. We ought to have that information. Please proceed.
I just want to clarify one point. I understand, but the one thing, and it was in my testimony, is that the tribe does not need to go through the same process as what Upper Lake and any other tribe that is restoring lands. Lands within a reservation are eligible for gaming whether they are held in fee or in trust. When a tribe is restoring a reservation, as Upper Lake and a number of tribes that I represent are doing, they have to acquire the lands in trust and to establish that, and because those lands are established taken into trust after 1988, they have to pass muster under Section 20 of the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act as lands that were part of the restoration of the tribe. So this is a different situation. The Pinoleville Rancheria was restored prior to 1988, which is the cutoff date under federal law in order to go through Section 20. So all the lands within the Rancheria are eligible for gaming.
But are you saying that the site in question, the acquisition and use of that site for gaming, would not require the federal government to approve it?
That's correct. Yes. The only thing that we would send in a facility license to the NIGC.
I understand it's not the same. I didn't mean to imply that it's the same thing, but it was my understanding that, in fact, the use of that acquisition use of that parcel for gaming would require.
It doesn't need any approvals under Section 20 of IGRA, or it doesn't have to go through the trust process. At some point, the tribe would intend to take the land into trust, but yeah, it's just a little bit different legal situation. I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Well, my main point remains, and that is that certainly a community whose concerns have been addressed and a tribe who can seek their aspirations through their rights under sovereignty. That's the combination I'm looking for, and I hope that the tribe can pursue that with the county, and they certainly would have my support if they're able to do that.
Listen, thank all of you for your presentations and your participation. I think we've accomplished our objectives, right? We've identified some issues that we need to look at. I think we have the next steps in the process that we need to take. I think you have heard from the local government representative, inviting you in essence to open up lines of communication and to move forward. I want to assure you that from my point of view, we're going to try to make this happen as quickly as we can. We're not going to. We're going to treat you as nations that you are, so that if one nation is ready and everything is moving, we'll move that along and then take steps to resolve whatever other outstanding issues we need to have. Members, I want to thank you for your participation and your patience. And this hearing is now adjourned. Thank you again.